And so it begins. The start of pulling all the seats out. Probably going to leave these back ones for now. Next goal is to pull out this heater and that heater and make a loop, tear out the floor, fix some window leaks. Got a puddle on the floor. Yeah, it's projects of right now. Alright, you guys, I know this is the first time I'm ever talking to you, but I figured I'm going to start a vlog about, or a vlog about renovating a bus. It's my first time ever doing it. I've watched lots of videos on YouTube and some great inspiration from like Chuck Cassidy and a few other people out there. But anyways, I think the first things first is to get the seats out. You got to get the seats out so that way we can get the floor out and just keep moving forward. Plan for this bus is for me, my wife, and 2 kids and 2 dogs to live aboard full time. We used to live aboard 36-foot Catalina in Maui, and due to COVID we had to kind of move and come back home. Alright, you guys, yeah, I just want to let you know I do have some blueprints laid out for the bus already. They're looking really nice. They're funny enough, put on the back of some Christmas wrapping paper for that time of year. Pretty great. Anyways, it's got the great grid on the back, 1-inch squares, so we were able to size everything pretty appropriately. 1 inch equals 1 foot. And we made some miniatures and kind of shuffled things around. And anyways, here I'll put up some pictures of that right over there, so that way you guys can take a look. Maybe I can kind of explain a little bit more in detail later, kind of what my plans are. But anyways, for the base, once we get the seats out, get the floor out, we're going to go ahead and move on to insulation. We want to insulate the floor first. We're going to do 2 inches of an extruded polystyrene. We're going to do 3/4 inch ply on top of that, and that should actually distribute all the weight that we need. We could, practically park the bus on that and it wouldn't deform the foam. That's kind of what it's meant for. And then we're going to go with 1.5 inch foam on the walls, and then trying to kind of battle between doing a spray foam insulation on the ceiling or going with same thing, extruded polystyrene. But we actually have about 3 inches of space to work with up there. There's already 1.5 inch void, and we're going to add another 1.5 inch of purlinks up there, so our framing material. So that gives me a good 3 inches of insulation to work with. Pretty excited about that. We're going to be able to get this bus pretty warm. We're going to do 2 diesel heaters, I think, to keep this thing cooking. 1 in the back, 1 in the front, since we're removing the original bus heaters. Anyways, I'm going to get cracking, start cutting out cutting out the seats. I think the easiest way to get these seats out by yourself, because I don't have somebody else really to help me right now. My wife's busy with the kids and some appointments. I think the easiest way is just to cut the heads off the bolts, and then, because I'm not planning on reusing any of the hardware anyways. And then, right now I'm just going to store the seats in the back of the bus. I've got a spot for them eventually, but until I'm ready to rip out the floor, I think I'm going to use the back of the bus as some storage for some stuff that's not going to stay on the bus. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Gonna try and get some close-up shots of me grinding out some seat bolts. Okay, so obviously I've got the seats out, I've got the heaters out. Sorry, I forgot to record that stuff. Wasn't that hard. I made a loop with one of my hoses over there. Mess in here. I'll probably have to edit that out. Anyways, long story short, I'm in the middle of ripping the floors out. I got these first 2 sections out around the stairwell, and I'm ripping my way back. I'm using my floor jack And I'm using a crowbar and my mallet as a wedge, and I'm slowly working my way forward and ripping it up. As you can see, this first section, I ripped the plywood in half and it got a little tricky, but I was able to get up underneath that lip and keep working it up and ripping out screws. The screws on these things are maybe not 3 inches, they're probably 1.5 inches, but man, they sure do feel like they're freaking long. Yeah, they're probably about 2 inches, 1.5 inches. Anywho, working at this, gonna keep going. Maybe I'll try and get an angle and show you how I'm working it. Probably not the safest idea to crawl under here, but you know, you gotta get it done. Like so. And then I can lower this, which I'm gonna lower it onto my back because it's probably not too much pressure. Shove that in there. And keep moving. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Look at that. I think I've done this before. Yes! That's a good shot. All right.